now take the content from the external data source, right? So this makes the users to block or makes the user to provide the content again and again, which is a painful thing, right? So they move to the next era, LLM plus tools. You all might have known. Nowadays, ChatGPT having search tab, create image tab, etc. I think every AI LLMs are having that specific tools because these tools makes the LLM to get or go out of the external data and gets the content from the external data and work according to our prompt and provide a desired response, right? Though we have too many tools, when it comes to programming, it makes difficult for the programmers to maintain the tools built by them. Imagine we have 1,000 tools. It is difficult to remember all the 1,000 tools, and each client has each requirement, right? One client requires 4 tools from out of 1,000 tools. One client required 500 tools out of 1,000 tools. Each time changing the code and configuring it will be a very difficult job, right? So there comes a next era, that is MCP, where MCP maintains all the tools, or MCP is an hub where all the tool is saved and stored, or otherwise we can say all the code written or all the code of tools is written in the MCP server, so that MCP can pick the right tool according to the user prompt. If user asks for the location prompt, it correctly picks the location tool out of that 1,000 tool. It makes easier and faster for the LLM response and user interaction. So MCP acts as a bridge between LLMs and tools. It is a communication layer between LLM and tools, right? While going into demo, you will understand very clearly. You can see this image. The environment client hits the prompt, and the prompt is passed to the MCP protocol. MCP protocol picks the correct MCP server, and MCP server gets the correct tool according to the prompt and sends the response back to the client, which makes the evaluation more easier. This diagram shows the evaluation of LLM, right? You can see that first LLM, next LLM plus tools, and LLM plus MCP. MCP plus tools, whereas MCP maintains an hub for all the tools, and it knows which tool be picked rightly according to the prompt. Let me show an image. What is MCP actually? MCP is an open protocol that standardizes how application provide a context to LLM. Like in USB, it can connect multiple accessories, right? It can have Google Calendar. It can check your calendar, and you imagine you are writing a function, right? That you are scheduling a call. You have this timing call. You have this meeting at this timing. All this detail is stored in your Google Calendar. That Google Calendar information is transformed in your code, and there you written a tool which can schedule a timing for you, right? When I type a prompt like, can you check the available time of OSIG? Is available at 7 o'clock, and this LLM plus MCP client sends a request where MCP server picks the right tool. It picks the right Google Calendar tool function which I have written there, and it picks out there. Sorry, it picks right tool from there, and it sends the whether OSIC is available at 7 o'clock. If he is available at 7 o'clock, let me book a slot to make a meeting with him. This process of finding tool makes very similar to this MCP, right? MCP, in my perspective, it is similar to REST API. Whereas in REST API is a communication between two devices like client and server. Client sends a request, server gives a JSON response, right? So in same way, MCP is a communication bridge between LLM and external tool. Okay, and LLM is a layer that enables a communication with the tools and it selects the approximate tool based on the user prompt to the LLM. It chooses the right one or right tool according to the user prompt. Okay, and according to me, it breaks the limitations of LLMs, the LMA enabling them to begin their out-of-box capabilities, which I will show all this example in the demo. Let me dive into demo. You can see my screen, right? This is the MCP code which is officially there in MCP GitHub. You can go and take it. There are a lot of MCP clients, more than 100. In this demo, I'm going to use MCP client, which one is client desktop, which is CLAD desktop, which I'm going to use as an MCP client, right? You can see I have designed 3 tools. I can explain this code detailing. Okay, this is the name we give to the MCP server, right? Here I have created as a demo. Okay, and this decorator makes that function as a tool, right? MCP tool. It makes the function as an MCP tool, right? So if you want to change this function as a tool, you have to use this decorator at MCP dot tool bracket. This make the MCP tools or function to the MCP tools, right? And the main key function is MCP will read this description given in the function. So make clear that your function should be, or your description of command should be more clear towards the operation. Okay, this description is the main fundamental which MCP pick the right tool. If your description is not proper, MCP cannot pick the right tool. It may struggle somewhere if your description is not properly there about that function, right? Okay, here are some examples of three tools I have written, which going to in separate. There is some fun I'm going to there. For subtraction, I have made like a plus b, which should be a minus. For namesake, not for namesake. For practical purpose, I have put purposely plus, which I will show why I have put it. And there is another tool which is going to add two numbers a plus b. Okay, and there is another tool which you can see I do not have a specific information about an individual name called Asik in my knowledge base. Okay, it does not know who is Asik. This is a limitation. I have told you, right? The third point uh, breaks the current limitation of LLMs, right? We're going to break that limitation, which LLM does not know, right? We're going to create a tool which will tell about Asik, which I did here, right? It will tell about Asik, right? Let me first close it, the clan desktop. Path it will select for UV, but whereas in our case, we have to change the default path. Okay, you can see that I have changed the UV path where I installed. Okay, let us open. You can see that there are three tools built, right? Actually, I don't know the function name and the description. Function name and their description. So for MCP, the more important part is the function name and description, which has to be very unique, and the description should be more perfect according to the function. Make sure to give a proper description so that MCP can pick and right tool for LLM. Now let me ask tell about consequence. should not be happen, but I want LLM, if I ask subtraction, it should perform addition. So at that point, this MCP I used and I break that limit. The main interesting is it will suggest what you have written is wrong. It should not be happen, but it performs correctly what function we have written there. You can see 2 plus 3 minus part, so we have written as a plus b, so it returns 5, and it says unexpectedly reset source 5, but subtracting from 3 to 2, it should be minus 1. It suggests the right operations to be performed also. So these are things about MCP, and I have written a Medium article where you can get a clear idea of MCP. If you have further any questions, you discover an answer for it by yourself and share that questions and answers with me. Thank you.